Hello everyone, if you want to get better in DayZ Standalone, then this might be the right video for you. This video is made for first-person DayZ, however, third-person players will also learn from this video. I, myself, have almost 2000 hours in DayZ, and I've been playing since the end of 0.59. If you look on screen now, you can see everything I'm going to talk about today. Let's start off with mouse sensitivity. Just like in every other video game, having the right mouse sensitivity is key and will always help you to improve your aim. In DayZ, mouse sensitivity is not as important as in other games, for example CSGO, but it does help you a lot to improve your aim. If you look on screen now, you can see what mouse sensitivity I am using. Mouse sensitivity is mostly personal preference, but if you want to use mine, go ahead. Aim practice. Games like CSGO and Rainbow Six helped me a lot to get good at practicing my aim. CSGO, for example, will teach you your crosshair placement, and Rainbow Six helped me a lot to flick onto my opponent's head. If you don't have Rainbow Six Siege, that's totally fine, because CSGO itself will help you a lot to improve your aim. If you spend 10-15 minutes a day before playing DayZ on aim maps in CSGO, you'll notice that your aim is improving by a lot. So simple as that, practice your aim for 10-15 minutes a day in CSGO. Recoil control. Every gun in DayZ has different recoil. However, the recoil patterns are similar to each other. You don't need to learn all the recoil patterns for DayZ, but you need to know what to do if you're losing control of your recoil. If you look on screen now, there's a clip from one of my recent videos that shows pretty well what you should do if you lose control of your gun. He's down. After losing control of my gun and all of my bullets sitting to the side of the barrack, I stopped shooting. If I would have not stopped shooting, my bullets would be flying all over the place. In a situation like this, you need to stay calm and don't panic. Stop shooting and try again. Graphics settings. There are a few graphic settings that you should change if you haven't done it yet. There would be object detail and terrain detail. You need to have your object details on high or extreme. What that will do is the windows from buildings will render in from further distances away. You can see if someone is in a building. For terrain, I will choose low, because that way you'll have less grass and the render distance for grass will be less. All the other settings are personal preference, so I won't cover them. What clothing should you use? Well, obviously you won't be running around in full bright clothing. Am I right? I suggest just basic military clothing, so that way you're camouflaged, and also do not use huge backpacks. Huge backpacks will give you away and you pretty much can't hide. And also, if you're playing first person, you won't be able to see what's behind you, and that's a huge disadvantage. In first person, you already have a limited view. Putting on a backpack that takes away even more of your view is lethal. Also, stamina is important. If you're carrying too much stuff, you'll have less stamina, which is a disadvantage. Same goes for ghillie suits. Ghillie suits are amazing in third person, But in first person, they're pretty bad. They actually put you in a disadvantage because you can't look behind you either. In third person, you can prone on the ground as a ghillie and see what's around you. But in first person, that won't work because the grass is too high. Loot and being attached to your loot. Common rookie mistake is to carry 5+ guns. You don't need more than 2 guns, or at least 3 if you want to include a pistol. You're fine if you have a sniper and an automatic gun. You don't need to go whole nuts GTA 5 style on your opponent, pull out 30 guns and destroy him. And again, if you're playing on a server of stamina, you should probably only take 2 guns. But always carry enough mags. I suggest 4 to 5 mags for an automatic gun. Always have food with you. Being full geared doesn't make you invincible to hunger and thirst. You always need enough food. I suggest you carry 3 to 5 cans of food and a lot of drinks. And don't forget bandages. Sometimes you need to bandage over 6 times, and if you're only carrying 6 bandages with you, you'll die, you'll bleed out. Always carry at least 12 up to 18 bandages with you. I know, it's stupid when you die, and it's even more frustrating if you die with your favorite loadout or a rare gun. But being scared to go into a gunfight is not good either. At some point you will have to fight, and you will die. You will die a lot in DayZ. I've recently died fully geared to zombies, and I was mad, but I'm never attached to my gear, because I know in DayZ you will lose your gear 100%. Hiding from PvP only takes away the fun. You need to risk something, and if you do, it's gonna work out in the end. Managing your inventory is key in DayZ, and especially in the current patch, where you need to load your bullets one by one. You don't have a lot of time in a PvP situation. Make it easy for yourself and have a good organized inventory. Having an unorganized inventory is the same as having an unorganized folder. It takes longer to find what you need. Always use the hotbar. The hotbar is there to help you. It lets you reload your gun or pull a melee weapon out faster, so why not use it? Zeroing. If you want to take shots at someone who is far away, you need to zero your gun. There is bullet drop in DayZ, and if someone is 300 meters away and you aim at his head, you will hit his feet. If you look on screen now, you can see a clip from one of my recent videos where I forgot to zero my gun, which caused that I didn't get my kill, which normally would have been a headshot. You need to figure out how far away your opponent is, but that comes with time and game experience. What helped me back in the day was watching a lot of DayZ videos and paying attention to the streamer zeroing his gun. Gun tips. Like I mentioned before, you shouldn't be running around with 30 guns in your inventory. Always carry 2 to 3 guns with you. And always check after spawning in if your gun is on full auto, cause normally the guns are on semi-auto. If your opponent is about 25 meters away from you, use the hipfire. If he's further away, then aim down sight. I always like to run around with my CQB gun, because if I get surprise attacked, I can immediately return fire. And if you're having a long range gunfight, you'll have more than enough time to put your CQB gun on your back and pull out the sniper. Positioning. The 3 things that make a good DayZ player are good aim, game experience, and positioning. You can have the aim like Shroud, but if your positioning sucks, you will die almost every time. If you watched my videos, you will see that if someone shoots me, I sometimes just stop running, aim down sight, and take a shot at their head. You should only do that if you know you're good at aiming and you can hit your shots. And you need to be fast. If you're standing still for longer than 1 second, you will die. So if you're unsure if you can hit your shot, just run to the next cover point and always left and right dodge. If you're solo fighting a squad, it is important to shoot and move immediately. If I'm fighting a whole squad on my own, I'll never be on the same position after I shoot. I take one shot, and that shot needs to be a headshot. So wait before I shoot. And then, I immediately change my position, flank around. You have to be so fast that they don't even notice that you moved away. And so you can take out the next one from behind, then repeat. Immediately change position. And never run through an open field. Corner peeking. I will only cover corner peeking for first person, because in third person, corner peeking is simple. There is a rule for first person. If you can see a person, they can see you. And if someone spots you through a window, you can spot them as well. If you look on screen now, you can see me fighting a guy at the northwest airfield. I've done a terrible peek, which almost killed me. But look what I did after. Hit him. I peeked again to get his position, and then I re-peeked to shoot him. But I immediately moved my head away after shooting. Same as before, never peek for longer than 1 second. If you know someone is standing in a corner and you want to rush this person, always pre-fire. So, know where your opponent is peeking you from, get his exact location, re-peek him immediately and shoot. Never peek for longer than 1 second. And also consider peeking from a different angle. What to do after killing someone? Well, if you know there's more than one person, never go to loot his body. If you're unsure if there's more than one, then wait 2 to 3 minutes, scout out the area and make sure the area is clear. You don't want to die because you're looting someone, so clear out the area and then loot. Last but not least, callouts and map knowledge. If you're playing with your buddies, communication is key. Learn the map, get to learn where north, east, west and south is, and give clear callouts. Don't just say, he's in a green building. Describe his exact location, so your buddies know where the opponent is. Give a callout like this. He's in the green building, on the southeast side of town. The building has stairs on the outside, and he's peeking through the window, so watch out if you're coming from the north side. A callout like this would be perfect, but it doesn't need to be as detailed. But always tell your buddies if the guy is peeking or not, otherwise one of them might die. I hope those tips will help you to improve your PvP experience in DayZ. Comment down below if you have more helpful tips that might help others. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like or even subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.